What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to another video. I'm Michigan Sports Talk here, as we got breaking news as Michigan has fired linebackers coach Chris Partridge. Gonna be going over why he was fired, plus his replacement. We also got the latest news on Jim Harbaugh's suspension as Michigan accepts the 3-game suspension. Gonna be going over why they accepted it, and also a Michigan booster funding Connor Stalions' scheme. And we got some jersey rumors for Michigan as they play Maryland tomorrow on the road. It's all gonna be in this video and more, so let's go ahead and get right into it. Alright, so we got some breaking news to talk about as Michigan has let go of linebackers coach Chris Partridge. Gonna go ahead and talk about that, but I first did want to start with Michigan no longer fighting Jim Harbaugh's suspension, as the U of M president's office confirmed yesterday, and they stated this morning the university, Coach Harbaugh, and the Big Ten resolved their pending litigation. The conference agreed to close its investigation, and the university and Coach Harbaugh agreed to accept the 3-game suspension. They said they decided to accept this sanction to return the focus to our student athletes and their performance on the field, and the conference has confirmed that it is not aware of any information suggesting Coach Harbaugh's involvement in the allegations, and the university continues to cooperate fully with the NCAA's investigation. Now, whether or not the news that broke out today with Chris Partridge had anything to do with Michigan dropping the hearing, which was set for today but no longer happening because they have accepted the 3-game suspension, that is not confirmed, obviously, but they may have done that because of Chris Partridge. But one of the main reasons I think Michigan and Coach Harbaugh just accepted the 3-game suspension is to return the focus back to football for this team and the players. And also, I think Michigan didn't really think they were going to be able to win the hearing, especially since the judges passed on it last weekend. It was doubtful they would have won the hearing anyway. And there was also talk about a potential compromise between Michigan and the Big Ten that would reduce the punishment to just 2 games, where Harbaugh would sell out the Maryland game but come back for the Ohio State game, but that obviously didn't happen. But then this brings us to the breaking news that came out today, as Michigan fired assistant linebackers coach Chris Partridge. Now, he spent time with Michigan in past years, however it was his first year back for Michigan as the linebackers coach. Michigan Athletics released the following statement. Effective today, Chris Partridge has been relieved of his duties as a member of the Michigan football staff, and they said Rick Minter will serve as the team's linebackers coach. We'll get more into that later of Jesse Minter's father, Rick Minter, but Partridge coached on Michigan's defense and special teams from 2016 to 2019 before becoming defensive coordinator at Ole Miss for 3 seasons and then returning to Michigan as linebackers coach. Now, a lot of people probably jump to the conclusion that Chris Partridge was involved in Connor Stalions' sign-stealing scheme. However, that is not the case, and that is not why he was fired. According to Yahoo's Ross Dellinger and Dan Wetzel, they said in an article that multiple sources say that Partridge is not alleged at this time of knowing about the advanced scouting by Stalions, but acted after the fact to cover up evidence. So after all this came out, after everybody knew about Connor Stalions, Chris Partridge apparently tried to destroy evidence. The NCAA, I'm guessing, called him, obviously notified Michigan, and Michigan did what they had to do and fired Chris Partridge. But the main thing here, the NCAA did not connect Chris Partridge to Stalions' operation or anything like that, and no coaches on Michigan staff have been connected whatsoever yet. Haven't found any evidence. The only reason Partridge got let go is because he allegedly tried to destroy evidence that the NCAA, could have used, and tried to cover up the evidence after the fact. Chris Partridge, he was an amazing recruiter for Michigan, especially in the past, so it does suck to lose him, but Michigan is kind of very lucky to have a guy like Rick Minter who can jump in, has a lot of experience. We'll talk about him later, but there was also news in the same article that sources tell Yahoo Sports that a booster named in the NCAA report as Uncle T helped fund the alleged scheme, giving Stallions thousands of dollars for expenses. So that is big news coming out right there, as we had speculation of potentially how Stallions got this money by himself, but now we got news that a potential booster named Uncle T helped fund the scheme for Stallions. So I don't know particularly how that is all going to play out, because obviously we've talked about it in the past before, how a friend of Stallions or a random person that Stallions knew could have given him the money and funded him the money without Michigan knowing, and a person that isn't connected to the Michigan football program. So I don't really think that could affect Michigan in any way of a punishment, because obviously anybody could have given him money. But let me know what you guys think about all this news coming out on this situation. But this obviously came out before Michigan's game against Maryland. We all know what happened last week with the news coming out of Jim Harbaugh's suspension. Michigan continued to go on the road to Penn State and take down the Nittany Lions, taking care of business. Michigan looks to do that again on the road at Maryland, this time on Saturday, as they will be without coach Jim Harbaugh, and Sharon Moore will be leading the number 3 ranked Wolverines. Obviously, with all this stuff coming out, it's just more fuel to the fire for the players, the other coaches, just everybody in this program. But I did want to talk about a little bit of Rick Minter and who he is, as he will be replacing Chris Partridge. It will now be the linebackers coach moving forward for Michigan for the remainder of the season. Minter joined the staff as an analyst in 2022, shortly after Jesse Minter was hired after the Mike McDonald's replacement as the defensive coordinator. He has a ton of coaching experience, which began in 1977. He spent time at Henderson State, Arkansas, Louisiana Tech, North Carolina State, New Mexico State, Ball State, Notre Dame, and from 1994 to 2003 he was known for coaching Cincinnati. And since his time at Cincinnati, he also coached at South Carolina, Notre Dame, Marshall, and also served as an interim head coach in 2009, and also schools like Indiana State, Kentucky, Georgia State, Georgia State, Florida Tech, and Southern Miss. And he also coached the linebackers for the Philadelphia Eagles from 2013 to 15. So he's got a ton of coaching experience, coached for a lot of schools, a lot of different places. So Michigan kind of lucky that they have a coach like Rick Minter who can just step in, has a ton of experience, knows what he's doing, and Michigan, they will be fine at least for the remainder of the season. I think the one thing it does affect is recruiting right now. Chris Partridge, he was a very good recruiter. We obviously got a lot of talented linebackers coming in the 2024 class, so hopefully none of them decommit. I don't expect anybody to, but you just never know now. So that is that. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. I also wanted to talk about the Michigan uniforms for tomorrow against Maryland. They will be wearing their all-white uniforms with navy blue accessories. Should be a good matchup and a good test for Michigan before the showdown against Ohio State. They will be without Jim Harbaugh, but I believe in this team. Sharon Moore, I believe in him. And this team, it is just more fuel to the fire for them. But other than that, that is going to wrap up today's video. Hope you guys did enjoy. If you did, make sure you guys go ahead, drop a like, comment down below, and subscribe for more if you are new around here. I greatly appreciate it. But other than that, we will see you guys in the next video. Go Blue.